The story begins with Victor Frankenstein retelling the history of his family. His father, Alphonse Frankenstein, has been searching for his friend Beaufort, but discovers that he has died. In order to save Beaufort's daughter Caroline from a life of poverty, he marries her. Caroline gives birth to their first son, Victor, and later on, they adopt a daughter, Elizabeth Lavenza, from a poor family.
Victor is fascinated by the study of metaphysics and the inner workings of nature. In contrast to him is his new best friend, Henry Clerval, who is much more inspired by literature, particularly stories of knights in shining armor. Elizabeth, on the other hand, is interested in poetry and the beautiful scenery of their homeland. One night, Victor witnesses a tree completely destroyed by a bolt of lightning, which inspires him to dedicate his life studies to chemistry.
Elizabeth contracts scarlet fever and ends up giving it to Caroline, who had been tending to her. Elizabeth soon recovers, but Caroline's sickness proves fatal. Her dying wish is for Elizabeth to take over her role as mother and to marry Victor.
Time to go to Ingolstadt.
Victor leaves home to study at Ingolstadt, where he becomes a follower of Monsieur Waldman and learns a great deal from him. Eventually, Victor discovers the secret to creating life.
I should make a human.
Now capable of animating lifeless matter, Victor sets out to create the body he hopes to animate. Victor successfully creates his monster, but runs away in fear and disgust.
Oh no!
Following his terrible experiment, Victor falls ill due to exhaustion and extreme anxiety. His old friend Clerval comes to Ingolstadt, frown upside down, and nurses him back to some semblance of health. Victor receives news of his brother William's death via a letter from his father. Heartbroken, Victor travels home. Along the way, Victor sees his wretched creation and is convinced that the monster killed his brother. But by the time he returns to Geneva, Justine has already been charged with the murder of the child.
Despite a compelling alibi by Justine and an emotional, if misconceived, argument by Elizabeth, Justine is condemned to death. Victor feels responsible, but is ultimately unable to speak up and take responsibility for his actions.